Hey, everybody. Hey, here we go again with another Marvel movie. Yes, I know. We only get these things like once every 15 years or something. I know, guys. Geez, why don't they make more of them? I'm sure you're thinking, right? But this latest one is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Stay tuned for more.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey there, welcome on in. Absolutely, come on in, my marvelous movie maniacs. Okay, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica. And today we're going to have a Marvel edition of Movies Merica, the show you love. The show you crave. At least that's what I tell myself in my head as I'm recording these. So, is it a delusion? I don't know. That's up to you, okay? But, like I was saying earlier here, today's lucky subject for our movie experimentation is Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. And this is the 31st Marvel movie. Man, how time flies from 2008 when we were first meeting a Tony Stark, an Iron Man way back then, and now here we are in 2023 with movie number 31 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, what's it about? Okay, well, so in this movie, what we first see in this movie is Scott Lang is, fresh, out of, or not fresh out of, but it's post-Avengers, Endgame, of course, the major Avengers activity that we've seen from Scott is behind him until any further future adventures we may see him in. But right now, he's like a successful author. He's written a book about his experiences as Ant-Man and being with the Avengers and being an Avenger. And he's enjoying the fruits of that success. Him and Hope Van Dyne are still together. And Cassie, his daughter, is still in his life. And so there's an opening montage at the beginning of the movie, to the Welcome Back Kotter theme, where he's walking around and everybody loves him. Hey, he's Ant-Man. Hey, Scott, how you doing? It's an Avenger. Hey, come on in. Oh, hey, a free coffee for you. Baskin Robbins? Oh, yeah, you're our employee of the century. Man, we love you, Scott. Oh, yeah, you're the best. So that's the beginning of the movie. And then they move on to they're having a family dinner, and it's disclosed to him that his daughter Cassie has been working on some quantum tech or something. And so they all go down to the lab, and basically what you see in the trailer happens. They all get sucked into the quantum realm. That quantum realm just will not go away. Tends not to go away if you keep messing with it, right? So they get sucked into the quantum realm, hence the Quantumania. And so they find themselves stuck down there, and that's where all the adventure and all our plots and all the hijinks and crazy wackiness takes place in the quantum realm. And they meet Kang, the Conqueror, along the way, and Michelle Pfeiffer knows all about the quantum realm. And so that's the synopsis of this 31st movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This movie, to put it mildly, is basically a orgy of CGI. Okay, and you can tell that from the trailer. It's just pretty lights, pretty Christmas lights, and blinkety blinkety blinky everywhere. And I think Marvel must think that we're all just a bunch of cats. You know how if you have a cat, you see people do this to their cat, where they take the light, they shine it everywhere, and the cat's like just following it everywhere. It's hilarious to watch, right? But do you want to be the cat? Because that's what Marvel thinks that we are. There's like, let's just show a bunch of explosions and laser beams and pretty colorful lights everywhere, and that'll get all the cats, I mean humans, to the theaters to watch our product. All we have to do is create content, not entertainment, content with pretty Christmas lights. I mean, that's obviously what Marvel thinks. I mean, they're obviously phoning it in with their last movies. I mean, pretty much all of Phase 4 was them phoning it in with some after school special messaging they throw in there, some political messaging that they think that we all need to hear. But they hide it all amongst all the twinkly blinky Christmas lights, otherwise known as CGI. And they think that us cats is just going to follow Marvel everywhere. They can just put all the CGI they want in the movies, and we're just going to go just jump in our cars and speed as fast as possible to the theater to go watch the latest Marvel movie. Now, there are creators that they don't use CGI when they should, okay? So there is the exact opposite end of the spectrum. So Christopher Nolan, for example, is the exact opposite side of the CGI spectrum. He doesn't use CGI actually in scenes where he actually should use CGI. Now, I respect Christopher Nolan's pact with himself to never use CGI, right? But there are some scenes, some parts in his movies where they needed CGI. 400,000 troops waiting on the beach at Dunkirk? Really, Christopher? Didn't look like 400,000 troops on that beach in Dunkirk. Could have used some CGI to throw some extra troops onto the beach, because that was not 400,000 people on that beach. Okay, so he's the exact opposite of the CGI spectrum. But then you have Marvel, and they just throw CGI left and right in their movies, and it's just lazy. Okay. I know it's easier just to tell a bunch of nerds, hey, let's create a bunch of pretty lights over here, a bunch of colorful lights over here. It's easier to do that than really sit down and give a crap enough to actually write a story that people actually care about and find interesting and intriguing, and write a story where there are actually some stakes to it, right? Where you actually feel some danger, okay? But because that's the harder thing to do, since that's the path with more resistance, they go down the path of least resistance, which is just telling a bunch of nerds, make some CGI, make these cats dance. My marvelous movie maniacs, thank you for watching or listening to this as usual, okay? Now, I know everybody with their show says that, and they want you to think that they mean it. I actually mean it, okay? Because it's no fun doing this for myself. I mean, I know I love myself, and I think I'm the greatest, thing since sliced bread. But I don't want to just do this for myself. I want to provide some valuable, useful information to you, okay? To get the regular guy perspective, not the shill perspective. The ones that movie studios, send on junkets and, little trips and whatnot, with the understanding that, hey, you just review our movie the way that you want, but hey, enjoy all this free stuff. You know what kind of review to do for our movies, right? Yeah. No, I am not that guy. I don't do that, okay? I'm bringing real, honest opinion to you. And so all I ask is if you hit the like button down below and the subscribe button to subscribe to this channel, and then there's that bell down there to click on there. And that just means that you're going to get a notification through YouTube or Rumble or whatever you hit the bell in that, hey, a new episode of Movies Merica is available, and you don't have to remember it. You don't have to tie a string around your finger. You don't have to, write a reminder on your fridge. Man, when is that Movies Merica episode coming out? You don't have to do that. Hit that bell icon, and you're going to get notified, okay? Less muss, less fuss, less for you to remember, okay? So, all right. And then also, feel free to get down in that comment section, man. Just cruise on down that comment section and say hello, or just, let me know, hey, this is what I think you could do better. Hey, this is what I really like about what you do, if there's anything. And then also a comment about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Just tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. Did you like it? Who was your favorite character? So on and so forth. Go crazy in that comment section, all right? Tell me whatever you want. I love hearing from you. Okay? Hey, with that, let's move on with the show. So Paul Rudd, he does his typical likable, aloof Scott Lang / Ant-Man in this that we all know and we all love, okay? I mean, I love Paul Rudd in not just the Ant-Man movies, but all kinds of other funny movies. I mean, I Love You, Man. Hilarious movie, okay? If you haven't seen that Paul Rudd movie, check it out. Obviously, him and Anchorman and the 40-Year-Old Virgin, but, and then way back in the day in Clueless. But, yeah, we all love Paul Rudd as Scott Lang. He's a very affable, a relatable character, very funny. But in this movie, he's almost too aloof because it makes him too much of a pushover. I mean, he gets some Hulk-sized grief from his family about what he's doing in life now, okay? They seem to forget that if he hadn't come out of the quantum realm at the beginning of Avengers Endgame, that the world would still be this mournful, sorrowful shadow of its former self right now. Remember the beginning of Avengers Endgame, where everyone's depressed and mournful and sad because, Thanos, did the finger snap and obliterated half the population of the universe. Like, the world was sad. I mean, the Avengers did a good job at portraying that world as being this depressing place that clearly wasn't getting over what Thanos did. And the world would still be that place if it wasn't for Scott coming out of the quantum realm and showing the rest of the Avengers how Pym particles could be used for time travel so they could go back and do what they needed to do to reverse what Thanos had done, right? And also, I mean, he saves the world from Thanos. He helps save the world from Thanos at the end of Avengers Endgame, okay? And so, yeah, so helping out save the world doesn't buy you some relief. It doesn't buy you some people getting off your back. Like, what the heck? Like, come on. Like, if anything that you do, I would think, like, saving the world or helping save the world would give you the right to retire for the rest of your life. But Scott Lang, he also writes a book, about his adventures. And but early on in the movie, his family, Cassie and Hank and Janet and Hope, they're all like giving him grief, like, we don't think you've done enough. We don't think you haven't done enough. What have you done with your life? Like, huh? All right, it's about that time where I rhyme, where movie reviews meets ice cold brews. Okay. Gotta have a beer, all right? That's part of this show, right? That's one of the big points, the big features of Movies Merica. It's the one thing, or one of the things that sets this show apart from the 17.3 million movie reviews out there, okay? They ain't getting their beer on those shows, no. But I know that there are millions of people out there that not only like movies, but they like themselves some good brew, okay? So, let's get the brew with the review. And this week's beer is Ooh, a little Deep Ellum Brewing Winter Lager. Yes. So good. So good. This is winter beer for Texans, as it says on the can. And Deep Ellum Brewing is in Dallas, Texas here. So just a little bit of ways from me. And, it is wintertime here in these United States right now, as of when I'm recording this. And so it just makes sense, to drink a beer with some snow, some snowy mountains on it, okay? And let me take a little tug here so I can give you a good analysis of this said brew. Yeah, that's it's got some slight chocolatey notes. Very, very good. Um, it's it's got some richness to it, but not too much. Okay, you're not drinking, Aunt Jemima here. I know you're not allowed to say Aunt Jemima anymore, but you know what? I just did. So, yeah, and it goes down smooth, not too much burn to it. So I check it out. I think you could go maybe find this beer maybe at like gopuff.com or something like that. If you're like in Walla Walla, Washington, or Schenectady, New York, probably not going to find some brew that's made down here in Dallas, Texas. But gopuff.com, you might find it, and on a website like that. Not getting any money from gopuff.com, and I'm not getting any money from this brewery right here. But yeah, so Deep Ellum Brewing Winter Lager. Check it out. I've heard a lot of praise for Jonathan Majors' performance as Kang. Why? Okay. I didn't find him particularly menacing or scary. He's not doesn't. I mean, he does evil things, but I just didn't find him. He didn't give me that scared feeling of someone that does something evil. I mean, sure, his character is written to be those things, but Majors just doesn't pull it off, and it's not really his fault. It's just because the writers once again do this thing where they write a villain that's very powerful, but they try to make the villainous character somebody that you actually could conceivably be empathetic for. Okay, they're trying to make it. They're confusing making a character multidimensional and they're doing it in a lazy way in that they have them seem empathetic and this is somebody that I can relate to, but that's not what making a multidimensional character. That's not all it takes to make a multidimensional character that you would find intriguing. Okay, and like Thanos, Kang is he's a very powerful being who out of all of his powers, one of his powers is the power to monologue for hours, okay, in a soft spoken voice. And it's just been done in the Marvel Cinematic Universe already. I mean, if we hadn't seen Thanos already do that in 2 movies, then yeah, Kang would have more of an impact, in this movie here. But, Josh Brolin as Thanos in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame has already done that, where he's this big, powerful villain destroying worlds and people and all that stuff. But yet he's got a contemplative side, a thoughtful side, and they try to explain his motivation and make you think like, well, okay, well, I could see his motivation. I don't agree with it, but I see his motivation. And I also don't like how Marvel chose to first introduce Kang in one of their TV shows, okay? We first see Kang in the TV series Loki, and I just don't like that. I think the big screen deserves more respect than that. Okay, introduce your characters in the movies, because I don't care what anybody says, movies are still the top dog, and then TV series, as far as Marvel goes, is one notch lower. Now, I know that statement isn't true to the level that it was like back in the 70s and the 80s, okay? I like TV series. TV series, it lets you take the time to tell a richer, fuller story in most cases there, as opposed to a movie where you only get 2.5, 3 hours, 3.5, 4 hours. If you're talking about like Justice League, Zack Snyder cut, that's 4 hours or a little over 4 hours. But most movies, they don't afford you that length to tell their story. So TV series gives you more time to tell a story. So I do respect TV series in that regard. But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you should be only introducing major characters like this in the movies, okay? Not the TV series. And it's obvious what they're trying to do. They're trying to get people to watch their crappy Marvel TV series, by introducing characters. Oh, you better watch Loki. Oh, you better watch Hawkeye, because we're first introducing this character in this TV series, so you better pay your $20 or whatever it is for your Disney Plus whatever channel that's called to watch that. So I'm not digging that. All right, well, I know it seems like I've just been, just ripping on this movie, okay? So I just wanted to throw at least one positive that I could think of, because believe me, I was really thinking hard for a positive in this movie. This episode isn't designed to crap all over Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. It's just that's the movie, and the movie forces you to crap all over it because it's not a good movie. Okay, it is definitely not a movie, but a good movie. But all right, one positive is it's probably just my sense of humor, but there were a few funny moments in this. So one of the funny moments is in the opening montage showing Scott Lang's life now. There's a scene where they're in a Baskin Robbins, and they're giving Scott Lang, the Baskin Robbins Employee of the Century Award, and excuse me. Again, hazards of the trade, as I always say. His old, funny-looking boss from Baskin Robbins is shaking his hand as they get their picture taken, and while he's getting his Employee of the Century Award, and his boss is like shaking his hands a little too long, kind of in a creepy kind of stand kind of way. Just hey everybody, hey, I used to be Ant-Man's boss. Oh yeah, like kind of. So I thought that was kind of funny. Plus, the actor that plays his manager, his old manager is funny. I mean, it was perfect casting. He's just a funny looking dude. And then also, Michael Douglas has a funny moment where they take a little pizza, a real small pizza, and then he takes like some old PIM particles and he drops on the pizza, and it makes the little small pizza into a big, large pizza. And he says, "Hey, I just saved us $8." I thought it was kind of funny. Might be kind of cheesy to some people, but you know what? Hey, it's my sense of humor, and all right, deal with it. And it's I like the callback to Back to the Future 2 when they did that. Also one more example of a funny moment is when Hope and Cassie and Scott are all in the car, and Scott's driving, and they turn on the radio, and it's made obviously and painfully clear that Scott has been listening to the audiobook of his own book, because they turn the radio on and his audio book comes on. And so they're like, "Have you been listening to the audiobook of your own book?" No, I don't know. That must just be the radio. I don't know what that is. So I thought it was funny. So I mean, I don't mind humor in Marvel movies, okay, but in moderation, okay. Don't overdo it, okay. There's no reason to try to cut a tense moment with some quip, okay. Don't be insecure and underestimate your audience's capacity to appreciate a scene with tension. You don't have to baby us and treat us like little children and throw a funny quip in there to break up the tension, okay? We can handle it, okay, Mommy and Daddy Marvel? We can handle it, okay? And just don't, when you have a dramatic moment, don't throw a joke in there, okay? Let that dramatic moment breathe, okay? That would be revolutionary for Marvel to do that. I mean, just do that, okay? It's almost like Marvel just doesn't think that audiences can handle real dramatic moments. Okay, my Marvelous Movie Maniacs. Hey, just another quick reminder to like this video if you would, okay? I definitely would appreciate that. And hit the old subscribe button down there to subscribe to this channel. And then also hit that bell icon down there to get reminders of when new Movies Merica episodes come out, okay? And in that comment section, hop on down there and just reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments section with whatever you can think of down there. That would be fantastic. Also, if you're listening to me on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, feel free to, just flip on down to the bottom of all the episodes, and there's 5 stars down there. If you give me 5 stars, that would be fantastic, okay? I wouldn't mind that. And, so if you're feeling kind and charitable, please. 5 stars. That would be great. And also, like at Apple Podcasts at least, if you go all the way back to the very top and hit the 3 dots, the ellipsis, there's a follow the show option. And again, that just means that it's going to download new episodes for you automatically without you having to worry about doing it, okay? So, again, yeah, if you would do that, like, subscribe, bell, 5 stars, comment, and follow the show. Ooh, man, I did all that pretty smoothly, pretty slickly. I got to pat myself on the back. Hey, everybody, we get Greta Thunberg in this movie. Yes! So Marvel pretty much turns Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie, into Greta Thunberg, okay? So at the beginning of the movie, you find out that, yeah, Scott, got bad news for you, pal. Your daughter is now a really annoying activist, okay? And so I'm sure Scott is thinking to himself, like, what in God's name did I do? What could I have done better? What bad things did I do to make my daughter this activist, okay? And so they try to portray her as somebody that just wants to help people and do good. Okay, well, you can do that without being an activist, okay? And so they turn her basically, into Greta Thunberg in this. They don't go so on the nose where they have a scene where Cassie goes, "How dare you? How dare you?" Nothing like that, okay? But they do make her character as an activist annoying enough to where you're like, oh my God, really? And then, of course, as part of doing that, Marvel lives up to their, liberal obligations to make cops look bad. Okay, you have to make sure, you get one shot in at the cops, so right there. So, because I think it's kind of a mandatory thing or something like that with a lot of movies nowadays. And one thing about Cassie is they recast her role in this. I'm not sure why they have a different actress playing Cassie in this movie as opposed to the actress they used for Cassie for a grown-up Cassie in Endgame. I don't know why they recast it. This one doesn't really bring anything to the table that the other one didn't. So I have no idea. Maybe the actress that played her in Endgame made the mistake of tweeting something that sounds conservative, in even a minor way. I don't know. Who knows? But I'm still wondering, just kind of shaking my head like, why go to the trouble of recasting that? It's interesting that we didn't get to see the actual homeless people in San Francisco because, as you know, Ant-Man is based in San Francisco. And the reason I bring up the homeless because there is a moment in this movie where Cassie is in jail, and it turns out she's in jail because she was attacking cops or whatever. She was doing something enough to where she got arrested because she said that the cops were tear gassing helpless homeless people in a park to clear them out of the park. And she says that the homeless people in the park are homeless because of the blip, because of the Thanos finger snap, where during the 5 years that people were, disintegrated, during that 5 years, the people that were disintegrated, well, people that weren't moved into the houses of those people that were disintegrated as part of the Thanos finger snap. So then when those people came back to Earth after the 5 years, they're like, hey, we got people living in our house. We're homeless. So they're homeless in the park and whatnot. And so I think in this movie, the Marvel's politics wants you to believe that when you think of homeless people in the way that they're portrayed in this movie, where they're homeless because of nothing that they did. No, nothing that they did. Is they're only hopeless because of external circumstances. They literally don't have a home because someone's in their home or they can't find a home. And they just got to ignore the fact that, if you ask experts, like 9 out of 10 homeless people are homeless because of something they did. Okay, they're drug addicts, or they have mental problems, or they have both. Okay, and so most homeless people aren't, these hardworking, well-adjusted, good citizens that just are homeless just because of circumstances outside of their control. No, that is not the case at all when you ask experts here. And I couldn't help but think, like, hey, the way that San Francisco is portrayed by this movie makes San Francisco actually a place that I actually still might want to check out sometime. Okay, and I'm guessing that the real footage of San Francisco that this movie must have got, I guess, must have had to hit the cutting room floor due to editing time constraints, I guess. I don't know. Now, the only reason I mention this is just to draw attention to yet another example of how bubble-headed creators are using popular IP to try to indoctrinate people and their political opinions here. Because I hate it when creators will do that. They think they're being slick, and they're just trying to use their IP, their creation, as propaganda to steer you in a certain direction that they want you to go, okay? Instead of letting you think for yourself, all right? And without telling the entire story or telling their story based on all the facts, okay? All right, so that is my spoiler-free review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And, if you haven't gotten the idea by now, I am not encouraging you to, go out of your way to go see this movie, okay? If you want to, by all means, but me personally, I'm not going to be the one to recommend you to go see this movie. If you want to see this later on, maybe when you could see it for free, by all means. But I think the only way Marvel is going to learn not to just, phone it in and make these, these stupid movies that are just orgies of CGI, are people just to stop going and seeing them. All right, stop being fooled by the Marvel logo, and going out and seeing them. Get it to a point where they're not making any money. Get it to a point where they're losing money, and then they're going to have a come to Jesus moment and go, you know what? Yeah, we should actually start trying again. Like back, how we tried from the years 2008 to, say, 2018, 2019. Remember those years where we actually tried and we cared about making good content, making good entertainment? That the only way to get them back to that point is, again, stop seeing their movies, okay? That's the only way, all right? Motivate them with you not going to see them, okay? All right? So, hey, with that, you know what? Again, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, 5-star ratings. That would be fantastic. I love it. I love that you guys are watching or listening to these episodes. That's fantastic. I really, really appreciate you guys. And with that, hey, get out there. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey, don't leave quite yet. I'm not done hanging out with you, okay? Hey, while you're still here, make sure to like and subscribe. Right down here, you can like the video and subscribe to the channel if you would. You'd be doing me a solid, absolutely, all right? And also, watch these videos over here. They're getting lonely. They don't want to be left by themselves. Watch them, and if you would, like them. That would be fantastic. Definitely appreciate it. And thanks for watching Movies Merica and the Till Death Podcast Network.